Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this week, as you can see, I currently have no makeup on. That's because today I'm going to be trying a new method of doing my foundation where you do powder before the foundation. It sounds really weird because usually you'd think that I'd get all clumped up and weird and stuff. So I'm kind of nervous to see how this goes today. So this method is supposed to improve the longevity of your foundation. It's also supposed to help it wear through hot weather and also prevent oiliness. So without further ado, let's try this method. So my powder of choice today is my RCMA No Colour powder. So take pretty much any powder as long as it is translucent because I don't want it to get too thick under my foundation. And first I'm just going to take a little bit of this on my damp beauty blender and start dabbing this over the face. It feels very strange at the moment. Quite dry. So my problem area is mainly around my nose. My foundation seems to separate a lot on there throughout the day, so hopefully it will solve that problem. The only problem is with my nose, I do get some dry skin flaking there, so I don't really want it to make my texture look even worse on there. And my foundation also tends to settle into my smile lines and my forehead, so I'm gonna dab it on there and see if it improves the longevity of my foundation in these areas. So now I've got the powder on those main areas, I'm just going to take a big fluffy powder brush and a little bit more of the powder, and I'm just going to dust this lightly over the rest of my face where I don't have my problem areas. You also want to try and dust away a lot of the existing powder just so that the foundation goes on as smooth as possible. I just realised I forgot to prime my face, but I did put moisturiser on, so hopefully that will do for today. I really hope this doesn't affect the results. But now taking my everyday foundations, which I like mixing together. First off is my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in shade 100, which I believe is the lightest shade that they sell. I'm sorry by the way if you hear this stupid fly buzzing about. It just decided it wanted to film with me today. So then I'm going in with my NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. This is in the shade Pale. Again, it's the lightest shade. Just add in a few drops to lighten up this foundation. And I'm blending this in with my beauty blender, and I'm also trying not to disturb the powder underneath. I don't want it to go all chunky. So as I'm applying the foundation, it just feels like normal at the moment, but I am noticing it looks a little thicker or more full coverage than it usually does. So I'm now moving on to my nose, which is the problem area, and the foundation does seem to be going on quite smoothly and it doesn't look any more texturized than usual. So this is my normal concealer, just my Collection Lost Imperfection concealer. It's a really affordable and full coverage concealer for those of you who aren't willing to spend a lot on your makeup or you're just looking to start getting into makeup. Definitely would recommend this. You can find it in the drugstore. And blending this out. So this is the foundation up close without powdering. I'm going to just powder under my eyes just because I always powder there, but I do usually powder most of my face, so I'm going to refrain from doing that today and see if this method is enough by itself. So far I'm not noticing any creases along my forehead or my smile lines, which is a positive. Although around my nose you can see in these deeper parts it does tend to collect there, but I do get that often when I don't do this method anyway. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of powder underneath the eyes just so my concealer doesn't crease and come off, because my concealer does not have a matte finish, which my foundations do. So that is pretty much it for the foundation. I'm quite liking how it's looking so far. I'm going to go finish the rest of my face and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I just went and finished my face, and so now I'm going to go out for a bit, do some things, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And for the last time, here's a little close-up of what the foundation looks like before I go out. Alright everyone, so it's now just about 8 o'clock and I've had this makeup on for 5 hours since I put the foundation on, and around 3 hours since I've had the rest of my face on, and I think it's held up very well actually. I will say that there is a little bit of settling in the lines around my nose like I mentioned earlier, but other than that there's no foundation breaking up around the nose, which is usually what happens to me throughout the day. There's also no lines on my forehead, which is a very good sign as well. Foundation hasn't settled into those. Other than that, my face is still looking really matte and I'm really happy with the result. So here is the close-up of my foundation after I've been out today. I'm actually really surprised that this worked. I didn't think it was gonna, but there's no oil on my nose, anything like that. Foundation's not coming off when I'm touching it. Although there has been a slight little bit of breaking up just under my nose here. But other than that, it stayed on really well. I would do this again, I would say. So here's a comparison of when I first put the makeup on and after I got back from my meal. Okay guys, so now I'm just going to give a little bit of a conclusion. I think that it works. It actually did work. I really did not think that it was gonna, but you know, I've had no breaking up on my nose. My foundation hasn't settled into my forehead lines or my smile lines apart from around my nose, but that was to be expected. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this worked out. I would definitely recommend this to people in warm weather, or if you just have an oily skin type like myself. I have it around my nose and things. But yeah, definitely give it a try. I think my foundation looks like I just applied it, so I'm pretty happy with the result. Thank you all for coming in and watching this little video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll have more fun little videos like this as well. So that's all from me this week, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye. I can't tell if I'm in focus because I don't have my contact lenses in. Okay, yes. You're supposed to... There's a fly. I forgot to prime my face.